So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we have another episode of the Trading Every Player rebuild series, and it's going to be the Detroit Pistons today. I think it kind of goes without being said that the Pistons are not a good team. I'm sure many of you know the way these rebuilds work, but if you do not, I will explain it to you real quick. Basically, before the first game of the 2023-2024 NBA season, I have to go ahead and trade away every single player who is currently on the Pistons. At no point in time may any of the players who are currently here return. And the end goal is to obviously win a championship. So, to be honest with you, I don't think this happens too often, but this might be one of the cases that if Pistons fans are watching this, you might not be too upset that I'm trading away your entire roster. I'm excited to get into this challenge, man. Lord knows the Pistons need it. But real quick before we do, of course, as always, if you guys have any other video ideas, make sure to let me know down below in the comment section. I'm just sad to say we're approaching the end of this series. I'll just read you guys off the 4 teams that we are going to have remaining to do in this Trading Every Player rebuild series once this video is complete. In the East, it is the Raptors and the Wizards. In the West, it is the Jazz and the Trailblazers. So that's all that's left for this series. Of course, we have historic rebuilds as well, but I am counting on you guys to let me know what other video ideas you want to see down below in the comment section. So once again, I appreciate all the support I see on these videos, and every video, it truly is awesome. And it means a lot to me, it really does. So without further ado, man, Pistons need some help. Let's go trade away their entire team. So I'll just let you know right off the rip, clearly as I've been doing throughout the entirety of this series, as I started the beginning of the 2023-2024 season. At this point, it would make absolutely no sense to use starts today. It really never did in my mind, and I never have. But really, the only reason I'm telling you this is because the Pistons roster is updated from all the trades they did make at the deadline. So I just want that to be clear. I'm not going to bring back Bojan Bogdanovic, Alec Burks, whoever the hell else they traded just for this video. So the Pistons roster is new, even though, you know, we're not really up to date. I think that probably makes sense. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this team. Best player here is probably Cade Cunningham. Jalen Duren's been fantastic. Jay Ivey's even looked good recently. Azar Thompson's obviously here. He's in his rookie season. So for me, this team has some young talent, and I'm hoping we can get some good players in return, or at least just somebody relatively valuable, but I don't really know. I don't really understand what the Pistons are going to be doing moving forward, so trading away their entire team doesn't necessarily mean the worst thing in the world. Unfortunately, there's not like a lot of large contracts on this roster to kind of like match up potentially some of the bigger salaries you could get, if you will. So, I don't know. Cade Cunningham, matched him up with Evan Fournier. Let's just see, I don't know, 10 offers is not too bad. Eyes are closed as always, and we'll stop here in 3, 2, and 1. And we end up, oh my God. Now, I don't want to mean this with any bit of disrespect, but Cason Wallace and Gordon Hayward is not exactly what I was looking for Cade Cunningham. Okay, Tyrese Maxey would have been fantastic. This would have absolutely sucked. Jalen Brunson would have been fantastic. Reeves wouldn't have been, oh, this would have sucked. I mean, there's really no good deal here, to be honest with you. I didn't really like any of these trades. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully we don't continue getting screwed because not a good start. We're going to do Wiseman and Duren in the same trade. 2 of the centers on this roster. 14 trade offers here. Please just give me somebody remotely valuable that I can maybe build around today and right about now. Onyeka Okongwu and Clint Capella, we are sending out 2 centers. We are receiving 2 centers. I mean, again, I'd probably take Jalen Duren. Out of these 4 players, I'd take him over all of them. Still doesn't mean that we're getting necessarily the worst return in the world. Jaden Ivey, we'll do him next. Throw him in a deal. Yeah, Stewart's contract hasn't kicked in yet. Oh, boy. Okay, you know what? I'll do him with Isaiah Stewart here anyways. Yeah, I mean, Jaden Ivey, I like him a lot. I've said that pretty much since he's been drafted. He's had his highs, he's had his lows. And unfortunately, one of either of those with us today because we are accepting a trade from the Phoenix Suns. I typically don't love these kind of situations because we literally just got Gordon Hayward. Even though I didn't put him in the trade finder, I'm still going to do this deal because I didn't put him in there. Like, you understand. It's a little bit shitty and I don't love it, but I can live with it. It's not the end of the world. So, yeah, Bradley Beal, Yusuf Nurkic. Welcome to Detroit. Just another big man into the rotation. Azar Thompson, we'll do him and Quentin Grimes, newly acquired Quentin Grimes. From the New York Knicks, please just give me somebody I can remotely build around. Oh, man, I need it. Stop. We're actually going to go one to the left. That is Keegan Murray and Chris Duarte. Not the worst thing in the world. OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson surely would have been fun, but I can definitely live with Keegan Murray. So that gets out of the way a lot of like the young promising, not to say there's not some other promising pieces here, but you guys understand what I'm saying. So Marcus Sasser, Simone Fontecchio, I'm probably butchering the pronunciation out of that, but he was a deadline acquisition from the Utah Jazz. I don't know, just give me somebody. Stop. One to the right, if you will. Dwight Powell and Omax, or it would have been Goga and Chuma Ukiki. Yeah, so many big men. This is going to be a very big problem for us at some point in time, I can tell you that. Malachi Flynn, will do him and Shake Milton next. I mean, again, these aren't very exciting players, but I have to get them out of the way, have to trade them off the team. Stop. Kyle Anderson. Fantastic. Okay, continuing to go through here, I think we've gotten a lot of the guys out of the way. Mike Muscala, he's a Piston. Is he a Piston? This team's so fucking bad. I don't even know the majority of the... Is Troy Brown Jr. here? I think he is. I think he's a Piston. I could be wrong on that. I don't know for a fact, but I'm just going to assume that he is. Stop. Jalen McDaniels, yeah, I mean, these aren't really big trades that are going to change the outcome of this video. I think Muscala is a Piston. Again, I don't know that for a fact. I very well could be wrong on this, and if I got him in a trade, I'm sorry. I forgot, and I fucked it up. Last trade will be the Clippers. Again, this doesn't move mountains in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah, in terms of the roster, we have no point guards here. We have 3 shooting guards, which I think are all good to stay here. Amir Coffey, also, I'm sure many of you know, I don't trade away the two-way players. I think everybody here should be good. And then, holy fucking center. Yeah, we're all set there. So, yeah, honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do with this rotation because it's not very often I don't at least have one point guard on the roster. Now, something I do allow myself to do, and I try not to, is typically I can sign a free agent, a guy like maybe John Wall. Jalen Noel's here. How much is he going to ask you? You're sitting in free agency and you're demanding $8 million? I mean, to be fair, we can offer him 7. Okay, you know what? Okay, why the hell not? That's just 2K logic. Like, if a guy's sitting in free agency, he's not going to demand $8 million, right? Typically, you understand. Okay, there might be 1 or 2 other moves. Really, in terms of just, like, moving the rotation around, there's not going to be any other trades, though. So, once I do set this rotation, I'll show you guys it. After moving around a ton of different guys in whatever positions they may have been in and now are in new positions, we have finalized this rotation, and it is interesting, to say the least. Here's how it's going to look. Cason Wallace moves from the backup 2 to the starting 1. Playing him there over Jalen Noel makes sense, at least in my opinion. I mean, you get the younger guy with a little bit more upside, the most minutes on a team that's not going to win anything. It makes a lot of sense. Beal, obviously, our starting shooting guard. I moved Keegan Murray from the 4 to the 3. He actually jumped up 1 overall. He can obviously shoot the basketball. Maybe not a traditional starting small forward in today's NBA, but he's a stretch 4. It'll do. It's a plug-and-place for 1 season. Okongwu moved from the 5 to the 4. Really only kind of main reason, if you will, is because his overall didn't really change. It doesn't really matter. We're throwing the season away, is basically the nice way to say it. Nurkic's going to be our starting center. Jalen Noel will be my 6th man off the bench. Clint Capella follows him. Dwight Powell moved from the backup 5 to the backup 4. Well, he was the 4th 5 on our team. He's now the second 4. I'm using numbers. I should be using words. My fault. Kyle Anderson is the backup small forward, and then Chris Duarte is the backup shooting guard. Unfortunately, Amir Coffey, Jalen McDaniels, Stanley Amunde, I don't even know who that is, will not be getting minutes on this team. And I think, with all honesty, it doesn't really matter who's getting the minutes. I want the young guys to play a lot, to develop a lot. That's really kind of the way I went about setting this rotation. So, another note, the New York Knicks apparently have our first-round pick, but it is lottery protected. I have no idea what trade that traces back to, but I'm assuming we're going to be in the lottery, just meaning we're not going to have our first in 2025, because that's how 2K works. But yeah, I think, again, this team might have some nice young pieces moving forward, potentially, but I don't know that for a fact. So this season is not going to be fun. I'll tell you that. I'll see you guys at the end of it. This first season is over, and I am very happy about that. We went 31-51 on the season, which is actually a little bit better than I thought we would be, to be honest with you. So I don't know. I guess I'll take it. I almost wish we were worse. It'd be a better draft pick, but we will have a lottery pick nonetheless. Luka Doncic, he's your MVP there in Dallas. Victor Wembanyama, Russell Westbrook, Victor Wembanyama, again, Jalen Johnson, De'Aaron Fox, Ty Lue. I go through these quickly because they're pretty much the same people every single time. Okay, standings times. Clearly, we are not in the playoff hunt. We actually are the 12 seed here in the Eastern Conference. Below us are the Hornets, Nets, and the Wizards. With 31 wins, we are probably projected around number 6, 7, something like that in terms of the draft, which, again, definitely going to help us out in the long run. And I am very much looking forward to this offseason. So, wow, Bradley Beal put up 30. Not something he hasn't done before, but just, again, different circle. Actually, I don't even know. I think some of these teams aren't it's not a crazy thing to say that, some of those late years in DC, this might be a better team than what Bradley Beal had with the Wizards. Just saying. Okay, let's get into it. Let's sim through the playoffs. Clearly, we are not going to be making a run at a championship this season. It's going to be a Clippers and a New York Knicks. Wait, what? I thought I saw the Knicks. I hate this. Dude, I understand, and I'm not going to sit here and give you a rant, but, I understand that sometimes, the player on the losing team had the best series, and maybe you can call him the most valuable, but It's every video with 2K at this point. Somebody on the losing team is winning a conference finals MVP or finals MVP. We got to stop that shit. It doesn't happen, like, really ever. I don't know. Clippers win it all. James Harden is your finals MVP. Okay, let's get into it. Off-season number 1, and I am very happy about that because clearly we can go ahead and kind of dictate the future and the direction of this team, if you will. I should have overridden Popovich's retirement. I forgot to do that, but typically I would. Okay, let's sim through it. Projected number 7 right now. Where are we going to be? Oh my God, we jump up to 3. Today is the day. It's the first time in what feels like fucking forever that we've actually done a good job or gotten lucky, if you will, in the draft lottery, and we move up all the way to number 3. That is very, very big for this video. I don't think Monty Williams is necessarily a fantastic head coach. I think Monty Williams is just in the wrong situation with Detroit. Like, I'll say it like this. I don't think he's a good coach for a team going through a rebuild. And it's weird because I also don't know if Monty Williams was the right coach for the Suns, and clearly they're trying to win a championship. So I don't really know where Monty Williams kind of fits in the landscape of NBA head coaches. He's certainly not been the answer for the Detroit Pistons, but to be honest, I don't know if Jesus Christ himself could help the Detroit Pistons. So I don't know what I'm going to do with Monty. I'm actually going to give him one more year, mostly because I don't want to, just fire the guy with the team that he's had. So I'll give him a year, try to put together a somewhat competent roster, I guess, and we'll go from there. Third overall pick is definitely going to be fun. We have 26, 27 in round 2. And we have a lot of players under contract that will not be here next year. So maybe we have a trade before the draft. Maybe I see you guys in the draft. I don't know. I like Brandon Ingram quite a bit. I think he'd be a fantastic addition to this team. He'd take over the starting small forward position. It would just allow us to move Keegan Murray back to the 4. And I'd like to make a deal with the New Orleans Pelicans right now. So Yusuf Nurkic, Clint Capella, 2 guys that I had zero plan on keeping heading into next season. How about you go to New Orleans and just clear up a headache that I'm having right now? I didn't think they were necessarily going to take that straight up. I have some other guys here. I just don't know what the money... Yeah, so I knew the money situation with this deal, in all likelihood, was not going to be fantastic. Now, if Amir Coffey does fit, we're just going to have to make this work with some draft picks, hopefully. Brandon Ingram is somebody who's not easy to trade for, and rightfully so. I mean, he's a very good player. But, okay, we get that done. That's awesome. Brandon Ingram is now going to, as I mentioned, take over as our starting small forward. So Murray's going to go back to the power forward. Yes, he goes down 1 overall. It is definitely not the end of the world. So I'm very excited to have him here, though. Ingram's going to be great for us. And now I have to figure out what I want to do with Bradley Beal. I did look for trades. I didn't find anything that I loved, and certainly Bradley Beal did play well for us. And he's a guy that I typically do trade a lot, and that's because I know what happens with him for regression. So I think the plan right now is to just head into the draft to kind of see what it's looking like there. I just want to see who goes number 1, number 2. So the Jazz are on the clock. They take Melvin Ajinka. Okay, wait a damn minute. Did they just fuck this up? They might have. I don't want to say that they 100% did. I'm also just curious. Like, no. Franz Wagner could be fantastic. I just don't need a small forward. Cam Thomas. What are these deals, right? Ooh. Would I give up the 3rd overall pick for Alperen Şengün, who I think is fantastic, by the way? I really do. I think I would. Now, I didn't want to trade a Kongu. I thought he could have been a really nice kind of building block for this team at that center position. But Alperen Şengün is no disrespect, is very much better than Onyeka Kongu. And he's only 21 years old and an 87 overall. And I understand that Kongu is young. My main point here was whoever I draft is probably going to be 1-2 years younger. Really not that big of a difference. We got a guy who could be a franchise piece. I'm doing this deal. I'm 100% taking it. Again, nothing wrong with Onyeka Kongu. Oh, wait, I don't have any other picks. Maybe could have been another nice center for us here, but ultimately we got our guy. And I'm very happy about it. So team player options, Keegan Murray definitely coming back. We look at qualifying. No, thank you. And now let's head up to free agency. Do we have any big free agents? Doesn't really look like it. So what I am figuring out right now is, in all likelihood, my point guard and my shooting guard situation. Because Bradley Beal was fantastic for us, but as I mentioned, we know how regression works in this game. And then Case and Walls, I think, would better benefit us coming off the bench in some sort of 6th, 7th man capacity. Something like that. So let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to do for the 1 and the 2. Look, I try not to get him too often, but when 2K wants to be ridiculously dumb and actually make a trade offer for me, I'm going to take it. Darius Garland's going to come in here. He's going to be my new starting point guard. We're giving up Bradley Beal and Onyeka Kongu in a deal with the Cavs. We're getting Garland and Karis LeVert, and we're not even giving up a single draft pick to get a point guard who's 24 years old and typically is a 90-plus overall by the end of these videos. So I have no idea why this is 2K's trade logic. Sometimes it's really bad, and sometimes I guess it's really good for me. But it's a dumb game, right? I think we all understand that. But not giving up a single first-round draft pick and getting, a really good young point guard is absolutely fantastic for us. Now we have to address the shooting guard spot, because as good and maybe as, I guess, beneficial as Karis LeVert could be to this team, I think the main thing that's going to benefit us for him is that contract. I think Herb Jones would fit into this starting five incredibly well. Obviously, a defensive-oriented shooting guard could definitely provide some defensive capabilities next to a 6'1" Darius Garland. And again, getting a guy that can be effective without scoring the basketball is always really huge in my opinion. And it really doesn't look like the trade's going to be too hard to put through. So, how about we make a deal, New Orleans? I don't know. Say I throw you a Jalen Noel. You can't afford that. Say I throw you a Chris Duarte. Can't afford that. And, yeah, okay. How about Omax? Jesus, you can't afford anything. Okay, can we get this done with second-round picks? Because I don't have a lot of firsts remaining. You want Dwight? Yeah, okay. Welcome to the team, Herb Jones, going to be my new starting shooting guard. I am very excited about that possibility. So what I could do is just move Cason Wallace back to the shooting guard spot, kind of where he started out. And, yeah, I think I'll do that because Jalen Noel is a solid backup option. We do have some other backup positions to worry about. So no, not Jalen Noel. He actually goes up 2 overalls. What I prefer, who's the better three-point shot? That is clearly Cason Wallace. Okay. We'll move Cason Wallace back there. I know three-point shooting is not everything, but, here in 2K, maybe. So Garland and Noel. We have Herb Jones, Cason Wallace. Chris Duarte is going to be gone. We do need to find ourselves a backup 3. I need to find a backup 4. No disrespect to Jalen McDaniels or Omax. I just don't think he's quite there yet, and I just don't think Jalen McDaniels is talented enough. So, and then Larry Nance Jr., we'd like to send him out as well. So a lot of bench work to do right now, which is relatively understandable with kind of how this video has shaken out so far, but a lot we can work with here. Brandon Clark, I think, would be a fantastic addition. Bogdan Bogdanovic. He just regresses. I know that for a fact. Mo Wagner is there. Daniel Gafford would actually be a fantastic addition to this team. Okay, that's great. So we got our new backup center. I could maybe live with playing Omax. I probably could live with it. I just want to, who are my options here in free agency? Because it looks like we actually have a little bit of money. A guy like Lonnie Walker coming in as my backup small forward, that would be awesome. Let's bring him in. Anderson's gone. Everybody else can go. So Lonnie Walker is going to be my signing as the backup small forward. And then, we don't have any money left, do we? Yeah, no, not really. I think maybe our last move here is going to be Chris Duarte and Omax. If there is a definitive upgrade at the power forward spot, I will take it. If not, I'll probably just let Omax run in the backup. Do I want Nicole? I'm not giving up a draft pick. There's no way. Josh Green. Yeah, not a lot of power forward options here, unfortunately. All right, man. I'll let Omax run it. Olivier Maxence Prosper. He'll be my backup power forward heading in next year, and then Chris Duarte is just going to get me a draft pick, hopefully. Thank you very much, Charlotte. Okay, I will see you guys at the start of year 2. Second season for us here in Detroit. Last season was absolutely terrible. We had way too many centers, and we somehow ended up winning, 31 games, whatever the hell it was. We knew that was not a sustainable model for future success, so we basically blew the team up. We went ahead and made a whole lot of trades. This offseason, we have 4 new starters on this team and basically an entirely new bench. I am very, very happy for what could be this season. Also to note, we don't have our draft pick this year, so we have no reason to be bad. I think that was kind of a factor in some of my decisions. It looks good on paper, at least. So Darius Garland, Herb Jones, Brandon Ingram, Keegan Murray, and Alperen Şengün is our 1 through 5. The bench unit is going to be led by Cason Wallace, who is an 80 overall. Daniel Gafford right behind him. Also, if you saw yesterday's video, I know I had both Cason Wallace and Daniel Gafford. That's my bad. It just kind of shook out like that today. Lonnie Walker, the 4th, is behind them. Jalen Noel, the backup point guard. And then Olivier Maxence Prosper. Omax, if you will, is going to be my backup 4. Again, a little bit of a lower overall, but I was not willing to give up a first-round pick for the 10th and final guy in my rotation. So 74 overall, a little bit of development for him. Hopefully it does the trick, if you will. I know I just said that twice, sorry. Okay, that is it for me for now. I'm expecting relatively good things for this team. I mean, no reason to be bad, so what the hell? I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. Yet another MVP for Nikola Jokic at the end of our second season. We go 54-28 this year, which is obviously trending way up from where we were last year. Hopefully a little bit of playoff success. Time will tell. Alexander Sarr is your rookie of the year. He is a Washington Wizard. Cade Cunningham is... Oh, I forgot. I'm like, where the hell did Cade Cunningham go to Oklahoma City? I also didn't even realize that I did that and put him and SGA in the same backcourt. I didn't even really talk about that when the trade happened, but yeah, it's scary. Victor Wembanyama is your... Wait, is he oh, he was a 6th man. Why the... Seriously? You can't figure out how to play him and SGA next to each other? Oh, good God. Can we just give Victor Wembanyama another award? I mean, holy hell. Okay, we are clearly going to be in the playoffs. Let's check it out. We are the 2 seed here in the Eastern Conference. It's obviously a fantastic record. And time is going to tell if we are for real or are we just pretenders. Are we just getting a lucky season? But no, I think we're good. Everything is kind of looking really, really good here as I expected. Rebounds a game is Şengün and assists is Darius Garland. So we are facing a play-in team. That play-in team will be the Boston Celtics. This is definitely not the easiest play-in team. Yeah, their bench isn't necessarily great, but that starting 5 is painful. I don't know if we're going to win this series. Okay, good start. Really good start. Okay, don't lose this. Thank you. All right, I'll take that. I didn't know if we were going to, but we did. The 6th seed Miami Heat. Terry Rozier, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Nikola Jovic, Bam Adebayo, Jaime Jaquez Jr., got Precious Achua, Grant Williams, and imagine Grant and Jimmy on the same team. That's funny. Okay, we're up 3-0 on the Heat, and we are on to the Eastern Conference Finals, taking on the Cavs, who I always somehow end up playing. It's a little bit better this time because I do have Darius Garland on my team, but this is still an incredible roster. And I'm a little scared. I'm not going to lie to you. So we do win game 1 and game 2. And game... What the fuck is going on? I don't know. I have no idea. This has been a very easy playoff run, and it doesn't really feel like it should have been. We're taking on Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves here in the NBA Finals. Guardiola's their starting point guard. Ant. Jaden McDaniels, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert. You got Naz Reid off the bench. Jaden Hardy there. So their team is definitely talented. Are we better? I have no idea. I don't feel like I've ever had a playoff run this easy. I don't know why today is the case, and maybe we're going to lose this one, but yeah, I'm a little bit confused, honestly. So they do force another game. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. Fuck. My bad. No, we get a championship here in year 2, and it looks like the trade for Alperen Şengün ended up working out as he's won a Finals MVP for us now. I was not expecting a championship right there. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I wasn't. It happened, and I'll definitely take it, but I don't know. Cool. Okay, let's get into our final offseason. Obviously, always good to alleviate some of that pressure, but we're not done. We still have to try to win. Bulls, Pacers. I'm surprised they're in there. Kings, also surprised in there. Thunder, and then Spurs. Staff signing. We had our questions last offseason about Monty Williams. Clearly, winning a championship is going to keep his job. I think that's safe to say. So, we don't have our first-round pick. I know that. Just want to make sure we didn't have anybody else's first-round pick. We do not. Murray, Wallace, and Prosper will all be coming back. I mean, in terms of what we could do to this team to maybe make us better, I don't know if there's anything. Ooh, we have 2 major free agents. Do we have money? Could kind of clear up the space, but I'm not even going to risk it. I'd like to make sure I get Şengün back, and I'd like to make sure I get Brandon Ingram back without really any questions. That's cool. Jalen Noel might be somebody we end up losing. I don't want to lose him, but it might be a possibility. He might just be too expensive for us. So I don't know. Are we going to be able to? Oh, no, I can if I want. I could also go out and get Bones Highland, who I think might be even a little bit better. I'm not saying it's a significant upgrade in any way, shape, or form, but I don't know. I like Bones Highland. Let's bring him in. Let's offer him a contract. I don't know if he's going to accept it or not. He does. Cool. Goodbye, Jalen. All right, cool. So in terms of other moves we could make, I mean, there's nothing changing in the starting 5. I'll tell you that. Do I want to upgrade Omax? I don't know. It doesn't really feel necessary. So, I mean, I'll look at a trade, and yes, I have changed, I guess, one part of the roster, because I'm sure many of you are aware I don't like leaving the same roster for back-to-back years. Here's what I'll do. I'll check this out. Let's just go to players, and I'm not going to take a lot of time on this, because if there's not a viable option here, which there probably won't be for $3.5 million in terms of an upgrade, then I'm not going to make a change, which, again, it's probably not even necessary, but a lot of these guys are probably just free agents, which they all are at this point. G.G. Jackson, or, yeah, no. I'll see you guys at the start of year 3. Last season, we won the finals. Was that expected? I think the answer is probably no, but it happened, and now we're here looking to go back-to-back. In terms of major changes on this team, there really weren't any, especially in the starting 5, as Darius Garland, Herb Jones, Brandon Ingram, Keegan Murray, and Alperen Şengün remain our starting 5. Cason Wallace, if you actually hit reset on this rotation, it's going to suggest that he starts at the shooting guard spot. Now, I'm not going to do that because I like the way Herb Jones fits in with this starting 5, but Cason Wallace is a very good 6-man off the bench. Daniel Gafford follows him. Lonnie Walker the 4th. Bringing in Bones Highland is our backup point guard. I don't know. Doesn't feel like a significant upgrade or downgrade. It just kind of feels lateral, but I like Bones Highland. And then Omax rounding out the 10-man rotation. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, there's really not much else to say with this team. We obviously had a fantastic year last season. I'd like another one. I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. It's not often you see it, but Victor Wembanyama gets an MVP. Now, that's not me saying he'll never win an MVP. It's just very, very rare in 2K that he does get it within these kind of 3 years of the rebuilds that I always do. But yeah, those numbers are fucking wild, so good for you, Victor. We won 67 games this year, which is obviously fantastic, but you know what? We don't really play for regular season records around here, as strange as that might sound in a Detroit Pistons rebuild. Dylan Harper's your Rookie of the Year. Cooper Flagg is a backup. Awesome. Victor, oh my God. Stephon Cassell, Most Improved. Devin Booker is a Golden State Warrior. He doesn't hit free agency, so I'm not really sure how that happened. I am interested to glance. I don't know. Can I see a transaction report? Let's go to the Warriors. So it must have happened in the offseason. Yeah, I mean, it must have. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's check out the standings. We are clearly going to be the 1 seed here with 67 wins. Cavs did have another really good season. But yeah, best record in basketball for us here in Detroit. And we are hoping for a very, very successful playoff run once again. Here are the numbers. Oh, wow, Bones Highland was definitely an upgrade. Rebounds going to be Şengün, and assist is Darius Garland. So first round of the playoffs, we have the Milwaukee Bucks. Damian Lillard, Giannis are definitely both aging, if you will. I'm not going to sit here and say either of them are washed or anything like that. But, 35 years old here. 31's actually really not that old. You understand my point, though. But yeah, the rest of this core around them is not really fantastic, so it doesn't really scare me too much as we win in 5. We're moving on to the Indiana Pacers here. Tyrese Halliburton is fantastic. Dylan Harper has been good for them. Ben Mathurin, Jarris Walker, Siakam. Siakam at the center spot's probably not really exactly ideal, but it would be, 2026 at this point? You can play anybody anywhere. We're up 3-0 right now, and we do sweep. Okay. East Finals. It's the Brooklyn Nets with Talen Horton-Tucker. Mikal Bridges, Exum, Scotty Barnes is here. You got Claxton, Mitchell Robinson. There's just not a fucking shot in hell. Okay, it is SGA and the Thunder against us here in the finals. They are fantastic, a pain in the ass, and now they have figured it out and played Cade Cunningham and SGA next to each other. It wasn't rocket science in the first place. Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, you got Kelly Oubre here. This is a very good team. I'd like to still win this series. I think we're very capable, and we are up 3-0. I don't know. This felt like one of those videos that, although we do have a very good team, my stress levels didn't really hit anywhere throughout this entire video, which is very, very rare. But you know what? 2K wanted to be nice to me today. I'll take that 10 times out of 10. So yeah, this one was fun. I definitely enjoyed it. It was really cool, kind of building a competent Pistons team, because it's definitely been a long time since you guys have had one. So Pistons fans, I know it's probably been pretty tough over the last few years, and I hope this made you happy for the 25-30 minutes that this video went on. But let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. As I mentioned, to kind of open this video, we have 4 of these rebuilds left. And yeah, it sucks, but it's been a fun series. I love doing it. So that's it for me, man. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.